Cherien joins us now. I should say first up that this has been, a massive success, lots of awards, but the story is the thing that's important, right? And what
Absolutely.
it is holding up a mirror to. Just talk us through your kind of motivation in making the film.
Well, I'm Palestinian American. My father is from the West Bank, and he was forced into exile in 1967. So, like the characters in the film, it took him many years to get foreign citizenship just to return to visit his home, the only home he'd ever known, and his family. And so I grew up with his heartache over his exile and sort of the trauma of watching his homeland kind of disintegrate and deteriorate and the situation worsen. And he successfully passed that trauma on to his kids. So this film, in many ways, for me, was my attempt to explore my own intergenerational trauma, the collective trauma of the Nakba, which is what happened to Palestinians in 1948, and the kind of ongoing dispossession and the impact of the ongoing occupation. And I really wanted to really take a look at how history shapes people, how ongoing violence really changes the domestic sphere. It infiltrates the domestic sphere, and it changes relationships between husbands and wives and fathers and sons, and really show the emotional impact of all of these events on Palestinians, who so often we see in the headlines, but we don't really have an understanding of what people are going through on a day-to-day basis.
And you cover decades in this film.
That's right.
It covers the sort of story as a whole. Is there a positive story through it? There's a great backbone of resilience?
There is, because the Palestinian people are incredibly resilient. And so much of this film is about my experience of being Palestinian, which is one of tremendous love and generosity and resilience and patience and humor and tenderness. And so that is, that runs throughout the film. I think one of the things that's inspired me so much is that, we're a very hopeful people. That's how we survive. And this film is very much about the extraordinary will that it takes to survive this type of ongoing political turmoil and personal loss, and, attempting to make meaning out of our grief. And, the film definitely, I think, is about really facing one's pain so that you can move through it and really try to find a way to continue living, because if we don't do that, then we're not really living, are we?
Yeah, I was very struck by how you were talking there about how it's about the impact on relationships and really, I guess, telling the full story of people, of Palestinians. Do you think that the way that Palestinians are presented can, I guess, be a bit dehumanising sometimes?
Absolutely. I mean, I think Palestinians have been depicted in ways that are quite dangerous, actually, really dangerously misrepresented. I don't know that the world actually has gotten to see our humanity and the ways in which we have really risen above so much of what is happening. There's so much grace in how Palestinians have reacted to the decades of what they've been through, but the world really only gets to see a very small reaction of the Palestinian people. But Palestinians react and resist in myriad ways, and I think that the film really shows that.
And the film comes out when?
The film comes out this Friday, February the 6th.
And has obviously had a fantastic run, as Sophie was saying, across all sorts of awards, from Sundance to the rest. Thank you so much for joining us. Very much appreciated.
Such a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for being on. It really does sound worth watching.